I just came out of a beautiful, beautiful bodywork session. Shout out to Jan Demer, Shiatsu. Big recommendation if you're in the Vienna area to check out his work. And I visited a place inside of me, or a felt sense experience inside of me, that was the norm for many years in my body. And that was feeling a shitload of tension, especially in my jaw and my shoulders and my neck, and feeling really uncomfortable being present in my body. And it was a pretty intense experience that I had today in the session. It was a powerful reminder of what was my reality for many, many years. And I know that in the past, I would have taken that as a sign that, oh, now I'm again at this place. What did I do wrong? I thought I was further ahead than that. Why is this coming back? What am I being punished for? And I can imagine that many of you can relate to any of those narratives. So some old pattern, old wound, old emotion is coming up that you thought you were over with, and now it's here again, and now there's all this meaning making in your mind. Now, what was really powerful for me today was I was not in any way turning this into a problem. I was also not making it mean that I've moved backwards or any of those things. Because I know that what really matters is how do I relate to these places when they come up? How much space is there when an old experience that is really uncomfortable is coming up? And from my understanding and experience of how consciousness develops, we do meet old places repeatedly again. So if you think of a spiral that is like moving upwards, it will touch the same places. So if you think of a spiral in a two-dimensional way, so if you don't see the three-dimensionality of if it's moving upwards, it will touch the same place over and over again. Now there is an upward movement because consciousness grows, but it still touches the same places repeatedly. And that's how I experience what happens when we touch old places that maybe were our normal felt sense experience for a long time, and it's coming back now. It's not a sign that your development is going in the wrong direction or you're doing something wrong or any of those things. It's simply a mechanic of your consciousness. And each time that we meet the same place, we can release it even further. And we can meet it with even more love, compassion, and also a form of neutrality. Like, yeah, it's there. So what? Like, I don't have to fight it. I don't have to push against it. I don't have to make it bigger. I don't have to try to make it go away as fast as possible. I can just be present with it and notice that my consciousness, my felt sense experience is much bigger than just this one thing. And when you start looking at those old places coming up again in this way, they are not a problem. They're not a sign that something went wrong. They're simply, we could say, like for me today, it was such a powerful reminder of, holy shit, that was my like normal experience for many, many years of feeling so uncomfortable in my body that I wanted to like get out. I wanted to not feel what was going on, but I couldn't because I had already committed to a path of embodiment. Like I couldn't just think myself out. That path just wasn't available for me anymore. So it felt like this timeless suffering in a way. Like, wow, I feel so uncomfortable in my body. Time feels like it's really not progressing. I don't see it changing. That was normal for me for many years. And today, being in this bodywork session and revisiting that for, I don't know, half an hour was such a powerful contrasting experience to where I'm at right now. And if I can meet those experiences, which I believe to some degree will always be part of this human journey, there's no problem. There's nothing to be avoided there. And I had another insight the last few days that feels really connected to what I'm just sharing here. The insight is abundance, being in a state of abundance, includes the experience of lack. So if I feel abundant, as part of that abundance, there is a sense of lack. It's just that it's not the only thing that's there. It's one of many things. That's why it's abundant, because there's a lot of different things here. So when I meet a place inside of me that feels like lack or contracted or tight or ashamed or whatever it is, that can be part of me experiencing abundance. And how liberating is that? Like, you experiencing lack does not in any way mean that you're disconnected from abundance, as long as you are relaxed enough and wide enough, big enough, that the lack is not the only thing that you're experiencing. Then it just becomes part of the abundance that is available in every single moment. Lack only feels like lack if it's like the only thing that I'm seeing. And I believe that in any given moment, we could look at our lives and at our current situation through a lens of lack or a lens of abundance. Like, there will always be evidence for lack in our lives. And that does not, like, there's nothing wrong with that, because that's just how it is. Like, we can always look at reality through that lens. So for me, that was really liberating to be like, oh, cool. Well, that means that anything that feels like lack coming up, like, there's no problem with it. There's nothing where I need to push it away or anything like that, because it can just be part of the beautiful, rich orchestra of abundance. So those are my evening thoughts I wanted to share with you. Super curious to hear how they land in you. Sending you so much love. If you enjoyed this video and you want to support it, give it a like, share something in the comments, and I'm sending you all my love.